May 1997, 19 years old. So I'm deciding to go on a hiking trip by myself. So this is Coquitlam here. This is where I grew up still over here and have access to all these mountains back in those days. And this was a lake that I wanted to go to. And this was Eagle Mountain. And this is it here. This is Eagle Mountain here. And this was the hiking trip I was going to do one day in May 1997. This was the general trip, and so I had a plan to go up the Eagle Ridge Trail, and this is it here. This is the Eagle Ridge Trails that crosses a set of power lines. Those are the power lines, and I've actually been there and have taken pictures of the locations of things. As the hiking trail made its way through a clearing underneath some power lines, my mind got foggy, and for reasons unknown to myself, on this day, the awakening of the me that knows them was slow and pronounced. I experienced a tingling sensation throughout my body as the awareness spread from the center of my brain, moving outwards, possibly from the hippocampus where long-term memories are stored, as I was immediately zoomed up into the ship. The reason I experienced a more pronounced effect of the me that knows them is because this contact event is in time. I record here unique sensations that I now know is the materialization of my body that had been developed over my first, third, and fourth contact events in timelessness. This body could also be called a dimensional body, or even an alternate timeline body. And here I record it merging with my 19-year-old self. The best explanation of what happens here is an alternate ethereal body created in the dimensional state of timelessness is now merging with the ethereal mind and body of the 19-year-old teenager. When I compare the different sensations between the second contact event, which was also in time, like this one, I can feel that moment was discharging the intent. So the second contact event was discharging the intense compressed impressions of the white room and afterlife vision, while this moment has the timelessness body more integrated with my ego or teenager identity through the third and fourth contact events. In craft, I now report that I felt so good as the high energy persona, a childlike purity, confident as one of theirs, with my spiritual and subconscious core exposed. The subconscious core exposed is from the ocean of the mind. Inside the craft, I report a pronounced sensation of my subconscious core exposed. This is from the ocean of the mind, stretching the ethereal mind, which encompassed my subconscious. It is experienced viscerally from having the dimensional body in my physical body now. Feeling my soul controls my body. Another thing I would add that I picked up in this memory review, but is subtle, is the feeling of my soul controlling my body, similar to how it felt coming out of the afterlife vision. My body felt the larger presence of my soul in this moment. I'm not remembering. While on craft, another passive thought of my own that I picked up was, I'm not remembering. I'm briefly able to reflect on the passage of time in regards to the last contact event and how I'm not knowing about them. And it's clear to me now that for the last several contact events since the White Room, I've been blasted or phased, and now slowly my ego with regards to this other me is forming. I'm certain I still don't have memories of the White Room. It's beyond me. But now the regular recurring contact events have me forming an understanding of what is going on. The teenage ego is forming in the contact events. During a contact event with the beings, you're not able to reflect in any meaningful way about what's happening to you. You get on craft and you have to deal with things as they occur. But now, especially as the contact events were becoming closer in time, I began to have thoughts about the secrecy and privacy that was occurring between us. The result is, for the first time in my contact events, my 19-year-old ego is slowly grabbing a hold, reflecting that what's happening here is awesome. I still have no idea about the larger plan, but think whatever it is going to be cool. So the thoughts, and I do understand, I do know that I'm here to discover my soul. So those are all impressions imprinted from the first contact event that are in me. And I do know that. I know what's happening, where we're going, but I don't know. I know where we're going, but I don't know what's happening. So the thoughts forming about our agreement are forming now with an ego. And that might be in part also because we are in time in this contact event and my frontal lobe and brain is active, not clearly remembering details of the previous contact events. So again, I sat and meditated on this state, trying to understand what did I really know about the previous stuff. And reviewing this state, I'm in the fifth contact event. Again, the previous contact events, such as details I was told in the third contact event, like this is how our kind is made by the elder, I'm not fully remembering here. It exists in a different part of my memory from outside time, while in this moment, I'm in time. So again, I'm having these kind of disparities, and all I'm left with are impressions, but nothing, not these specific imagery or details. From my fourth contact event, scolding me for smoking pot, as the elder did, it's a little more accessible because it's more recent, but also the memory is in a different spot in my mind. The ocean of the mind, because I'm in an elevated state, I don't even have a memory of it. And even the globe at the end of the fourth contact event, I barely see it. I do not know the visions and dreams come from them. Also, what's fascinating is the minor visions or dreams in my everyday world of these contact events. I do not put together at all while on craft that they originate from these moments, and I never reflect or think about them. So the elder does this energy work on me in this contact event, and that's very specific here. I asked, "What's going on?" She said, "We are aligning the energy in your body. This will be needed for what's to come." Now that I have a clearly defined feeling of the timelessness body within, of that sensation, it thoroughly feels like the grid the elder used on me here in this fifth contact event is grounding the timelessness body into the physical body. It's clear that is the purpose of this moment. I can now say that up to this point in the fifth contact event, everything after the afterlife vision is in my heart, imprinted in my heart energy. Recall that I was an orb. That's the most important part here. I was an intense energy orb with my heart energy condensed. And then as a full body, I became a full body. I had developed and evolved from the second to the fourth contact events. And now this iron grid beam is putting it all into my 19-year-old body. This dimensional body becomes the basis for the part of me that knows the larger plan of my agreement with the entities. Fascinatingly, memory is not in the brain alone, but it is also in the body. So, this merging of the timelessness body with the physical body allows the memory of the timelessness state to be better transferred over to a physical experience. It was in this analysis that finally made me understand the origins of the strong sensations I had while traveling. Everything from why leaving society and abandoning my life felt right to why I felt I couldn't settle anywhere while I was traveling and had to keep moving. It's clear now I would have had my own natural inclination to abandon what I was doing and settle down somewhere when convenient. But instead, this dimensional body, this dimensional self knew the plan, knew the agreement, knew the purpose, and knew what was happening. So it embedded clear sensations into my physical existence. It explains the source of my struggle while traveling. The dimensional body was less integrated in the second contact event. When I compare the feelings of the second contact event, which is also in time, I can feel that the me that knows them, the dimensional body, was less integrated into my body at that time. And it's clear the alignment grid in this contact event is responsible for that feeling of integration. Where there was once a blast of energy from being in touch with the timelessness body during the second contact event, now there is calmness in my heart when I feel the soothing rocking of the ion beams going up my spine. This grid makes the energy of the dimensional body manageable for my physical body. So, closer to the end of the contact event, to my right was a hologram machine. She turned it on when a globe appeared. about a foot and a half in diameter, composed of yellow and gold plastic plasticine looking wisps, with hints of blue and white, and a pure white tube with hues of dark purple passing through the center. Like the last time, I could feel I was connected to it, like it was a part of my higher self. So I never made the connection until this new method of analyzing my contact events that the wisps composed of yellow and gold, just like the blue and white wisps of the last holographic globe, represent an expression of what's occurring for me in my reality in the moment. And here they represent the insertion of the dimensional body, which will express itself in the rising as golden DNA, or the cells of my body feeling like they had golden light in them. The golden wisps represent the insertion of the dimensional body, which will manifest during the rising as golden light DNA. We returned to the first room, and through the open window, I noticed we had drifted considerably higher, allowing me to see the city of Vancouver. So now we're done, and I'm leaving. I asked, "How will I get back down?" She said, "We'll send you down." I was immediately under the ship, high above Bunsen Lake, being sent down in a tractor beam with no feeling of G-force as I watched the ground approaching fast. The ship was alive and intelligent, and in its beam I felt cocooned and secure. With no sense of impact, I was immediately walking on the opposite side of the lake from where they had picked me up. The perfection of the land was incomprehensible. So I just wanted to add here that I found Linda Porter and Linda Moulton Howe's glimpses of other realities, describing the tractor beam in similar fashion to myself. Another memory I have is being aboard a craft in a small room, round room with a large circular opening in the center of it. I was sent down this hole on a shaft of pale yellow light. I was sent down at great speed, so fast that I thought I was going to be smashed to death on the ground. About 4 feet from the ground, I suddenly slowed down. I mean, like going from, I'll say, about 80 miles an hour to suddenly 3 miles an hour. The difference was incredible, and I landed on the ground. There was no sense of falling. There was no rush of wind. There was no sound. Going down that fast and from that great a height, there should have been the feeling like you would get from a roller coaster when you go down really fast. But there wasn't anything at all. It was weird. So this is her image. I love this. This is her image of going down on that beam, and her description just matches exactly to the T my own experience in this moment. So I really like to put that connection together. The Elder's command from the first contact event to not look at this created a powerful subconscious suggestion. So right before my memory of the event was removed, I had it in my mind that I had made the choice to do the Bunsen Lake Trail instead of hiking up Eagle Mountain. Then I continued walking like nothing had happened, unaware that I hadn't done half the hike. Around a half hour later, I saw the other side of the lake and realized I couldn't remember that portion of the hike. With the memory obscured, the truth being beyond my comprehension, and a subtle subconscious impulse to avoid looking at what really occurred, I figured I was consumed in my thinking while walking. I later surmised that I should redo the Bunsen Lake Trail, yet was the last time I thought about it, and I never did that hike ever again, though I would come back in the following months to complete the Eagle Mountain Trail. I just wanted to show from this description how clear it is, unlike the other contact events that don't involve such confusion, that this event transpired in time. So, a summary: this event is much more significant than I previously understood. It is in time, and it is the placement of the dimensional body formed outside time. In all regards, it is an alternate timeline me, formed in a different dimension, converging with the timeline of a 19-year-old teenager. Though the intensity will dissipate within time, the dimensional body will remain, which will begin to produce psychic content. And again, from the third person perspective, if someone was to witness the details of this contact event from the ground, I'm convinced the craft was invisible, as I was explained that by the elder. And therefore, I don't know if a beam would have been visible also. So it's possible I would have just disappeared under the power lines and sometime later reappeared on the other side of the lake. In the first edition of my book, I recorded the dream that I now know was from this contact event. You can see the recorded sensation that I describe of my subconscious core exposed, which I now connect with the ocean of the mind, expanding my mental frame of reference to encompass my subconscious. The reason I experienced that here and not in a dream associated with the fourth contact event, because the fourth contact event was in timelessness, which preserved the dimensional body, while the fifth contact event is in time, and therefore my brain was processing the information, which, when obscured, produced a dream with a pronounced visceral sensation of an inner excavation. Why aren't I still experiencing any effects, even though the dimensional body is in me? It's because I don't have the frequency. So something has been put into me, and then I don't know how to link up to it, and now it dissipates. It's still in me, its imprints are in me, but now it's left I'm left to live out my normal life as a teenager.